So recently, a YouTuber called Rage After Storm stirred up some controversy in the Skeptic community by making a video called Race is Real. Now, I had never paid much attention to Rage before. I had only seen a few of her videos, and she struck me as a sort of generic vlogger thought in the vein of Shoe on Head and Roaming Millennial. But this most recent video caught my interest. She seemed to be going off the script as far as what these sorts of YouTubers usually talk about, and I already knew that there would be hell to pay for her. She even linked to the Daily Stormer, which takes quite a lot of audacity, and I knew was not going to go down well. And well, you know, the next day she was dogpiled by the repulsive, soulless bugmen that populate the skeptic community, such as Computing Forever and Jeff Holiday, and their non-white tokens, namely one, some black guy. Now, I thought this was interesting to say the least. You may recall not long ago that a YouTube feminist known as Lacey Green started to get friendlier with anti-feminists on YouTube, and became more sympathetic to their ideas as a result of dating well-known anti-SJW YouTuber Chris Reagan. This caused various SJW degenerates, reprobates, and other assorted freaks such as Zinnia Jones, Riley Dennis, and Kat Black to excommunicate and disavow her. The skeptic community reacted to this, quite rightly, with outrage. They couldn't believe that the evil SJWs would turn on someone and descend on them so quickly for what amounted to wrongthink on the subject of gender. But their chimping out over Rage has shown this reaction to be absurdly hypocritical. They are fine with basic bitch anti-feminism like my two genders and my wage gap and other silliness, but the instant you say something unkosher about race, Jews, etc., they'll excommunicate you with the same ferocity and bile that the SJWs showed towards Lacey Green. This is because, despite their pretenses towards objectivity and rationalism, they do not in fact display such traits at all. They are nothing but over-socialized bug people, no different from white SJWs. They just happen to not like being forced to call someone they or zer. Another interesting event happened in relation to this debacle when a black female YouTuber called Tree of Logic tweeted to defend Rage After Storm. This prompted a negative reaction from the skeptic community, again, who called her things such as Uncle Tom and Coon. This is, once again, insanely hypocritical, seeing as they'll crow about SJWs being the real racists whenever one of their tokens gets called Coon or Uncle Tom. This drives home a point I made on Twitter, which is that the skeptic community is a facet of an implicitly white brand of leftism. They don't realize the fact that non-whites care more about Gibbs meat than about their pet issues, but they do sense the dearth of non-whites in their movement. Thus, they push the few non-whites in their movement to the fore in order to appear more diverse than they actually are. But of course, this relies on said non-whites passively repeating their milquetoast talking points. If any of them go off script, such as Tree of Logic and that guy T have done, they will react with extreme hostility. This is all to say that the skeptic community is essentially a cult-like faction of the white left. Like their SJW counterparts, they are highly over-socialized and are third-worldists. They will eventually fall with the rest of the third world as white left, as non-white blocs increase their power. In the meantime, they will continue to be utterly useless. Have a nice day, folks.